Hi guys, how are you? This is a comparative text rather. So text 1 is going to be a splendid stay in Bhutan, and text 2 is going to be beyond the sky and the earth. It's Journey into Bhutan by a lady by the name Jamie ZeppaIn. In the first text, that is, in this extract, Lisa Grainger, a travel writer, describes her first impressions of the country of Bhutan, this Switzerland-sized Himalayan nation, sandwiched between the great Asian giants of India and China, is in the heart of the Himalayas, standing at almost 8,000 feet. It is a kingdom that really is on top of the world. Visiting here feels like a privilege, a rare chance to peek into an Asian kingdom where Western essentials, quote unquote, only recently arrived. Schools, doctors' terms, and currency were introduced only in the 1960s. So the internet and the television started in 1999. It's like being whisked back 50 years. Although we had some Western clothes and children, one young man put it. So it's only recently with the TV that we've understood what fashion is. And because independent travel is forbidden, I had nothing to worry about. My 9-day trip was in the hands of my guide, Ugyen Tenzing. And as he rather quaintly put it, as visitors to this country, you are now family, and it is our duty to our king to look after you. So what kind of an exam style question do you expect in comparing texts? So it's usually question number 5, which is based on both text 1 and text 2 from the extract booklet that you'll be provided during your exam day. Now, this is a common question from both texts rather. Compare how the writers present their ideas and perspectives about their experiences. Support your answer with detailed examples from both texts, including brief quotations. Students, the question usually comes with 22 marks, so which accounts for almost 50% of the total marks awarded in the old paper 2. No, paper 1 rather. So therefore, let's dig into the question straight away and compare how the writers present their ideas. So we are going to compare. In other words, this is just a guide on how you'd be comparing skills, and I would like you to pay attention to how we are comparing both. We're going to be looking at similarities and differences, and in this case, straight away, both writers, that is, they describe a first-time visit to Bhutan, and they give their initial impressions of the country. Both texts, of course, describes only a short amount of time. Text 1 refers to my 9-day trip, while and text 2 to a week-long orientation session. So therefore, at the start of both texts, there is a description of the landscape of Bhutan, but this is more developed and extensive in text 2. Both writers use measurements to emphasize the high altitude of the country. Text 1 states it is standing at 8,000 feet. And text 2 says it is about half of 4,500 meters above the sea level. There is a positive tone to each passage, but the writer of text 1 sounds more effusive, with mention of it being a privilege to visit, the latter feelings blessed to visit rather, and later feeling blessed and being treated like royalty. Both writers emphasize the differences between Bhutan and the Western world. Text 1 states that Western essentials only recently arrived, and text 2 says that signs of cultural infiltrations are few. Students, remember that we're looking at the similarities of both texts, and also later on we're going to be looking at differences. Now, if both the texts were talking about differences of this country and the Western way of life or the Western culture, then those ones will also qualify as similarities, striking similarities between text A and B, both writers, because they've managed to talk about the differences from where they came from as part what they're experiencing in this new place. Both writers comment on the good qualities of the Bhutanese people, and text 2 provides a physical description of the same. Both writers state that they see few other foreigners in Bhutan. Both writers mention that Jesuit priests were the first Western visitors to Bhutan in the year 1627. Both writers use a mix of informative and descriptive language. The writer of text 1 is visiting Bhutan as a tourist or a travel writer, and so wants to see all that she can, but the writer of text 2 has gone there to work as a teacher and needs to learn about the place where she will be living. So the writer of text 1 stays in luxurious hotel accommodation, but the writer of text 2 stays in a basic hotel. You realize that now we're talking about the differences. So students, we do not have much time, but I would like you to look at how those differences are coming out and master those particular skills, because you need them when you're going to answer these questions, especially when you're going to compare. So there's also a great difference in the quality of the food that the writers are offered. Text 1 refers to smoked salmon and tender Australian rib eye steak, and text 2 to plasticky white bread and flavorless jam. The rate of text one rather hints that there may be some things that the Bhutanese do not want visitors to see or to do, as independent travel is forbidden. The rate of text 1 visits places other than Thimphu and describes the range of tourist activities that she experiences. The rate of text 1 describes the smells of the countryside and the weather using poetic language, and I quote, "The sun melts the silvery coating of frost." The writer of text 1 is a lone traveler, but the writer of text 2 has companions in Thimphu whom she describes. The writer of text 1 interacts with her Bhutanese guide, Ugyen Tenzing, and includes some of course, his direct speech, but the writer of text 2 has a little direct contact with Bhutanese people. The writer of text 2 gives more detailed information about the history of the country. Only the writer of text 1 talks about the high cost of staying in Bhutan as a tourist. But both texts are informative, but text 1 is also quite persuasive, as it is by a newspaper travel writer, presenting Bhutan as a holiday destination for respectful, wealthy tourists. Now, that marks the end of our session as comparing is concerned. So I expect this question to be the question number 5. And because I said earlier that you don't have time, you might as well as want to maybe go through the video again, so that you can affiliate and maybe get used to the styles of, the comparing techniques that I've just deployed in this particular case. And again, you don't want to miss the next video, because I've also prepared another comparative text, so stay put for the same.